Rejection and heartbreak cut deep. The person you cared for walks away. The relationship you invested in ends. The hope you carried quietly dissolves. In that moment, the pain feels overwhelming. Your mind replays every conversation, every moment of closeness, every sign you might have missed. You question your worth. You wonder what you did wrong. You feel the sharp sting of abandonment and the heavy weight of loneliness. If you are watching this right now, there is a very good chance you are carrying this pain. You are not alone. Almost every human heart has known the ache of rejection or the quiet devastation of heartbreak. The Stoics faced the same experiences more than 2,000 years ago and developed practical rules that still bring healing and strength today. Marcus Aurelius lost loved ones and dealt with betrayal while ruling an empire. Seneca experienced exile and the end of close relationships. Epictetus, born a slave, understood the pain of having things and people taken away. Their wisdom offers a clear path through the storm of rejection and heartbreak. In this video, we are going to explore the most powerful Stoic rules for handling these painful experiences with dignity, wisdom, and inner peace. These are not empty platitudes. These are battle-tested practices that help you process the pain without letting it destroy your self-worth or your future capacity to love. By the end of this video, you will have a practical framework you can use the next time rejection or heartbreak knocks on your door. You will learn how to feel the pain fully without being consumed by it, how to extract its lessons, and how to move forward with a stronger, calmer heart. Let us begin by understanding why rejection and heartbreak hurt so much, and why the Stoic approach is uniquely effective at healing them. Rejection and heartbreak hurt because they strike at our deepest need for connection and belonging. When someone we care about chooses to leave or no longer reciprocates our feelings, the mind interprets it as a fundamental rejection of our worth. This triggers a cascade of painful thoughts. I am not enough, there must be something wrong with me, I will never find love again. The Stoics understood this emotional storm perfectly. They did not deny the pain. They acknowledged it fully while refusing to let it define who we are. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by things themselves, but by the views we take of them. In the case of heartbreak, the event is painful, but the additional suffering comes from the story we attach to it. The story that says, "This means I am unlovable," or "I will always be alone." The Stoic path invites us to examine and gently release these destructive interpretations. The pain of loss is real and deserves to be felt. The additional pain of self-rejection is optional and can be released with practice. Marcus Aurelius faced personal losses and political betrayals, yet he reminded himself daily that external events cannot touch the citadel of his inner self unless he opens the gates. Your heart may be broken, but your character, your dignity, and your capacity for growth remain intact. This distinction is the first step toward healing. Feel the sadness. Allow the grief. But do not allow the mind to turn the pain into proof that you are fundamentally flawed or unworthy of love. You are still the same person who is capable of giving and receiving love. The rejection says more about the other person's journey than it does about your inherent worth. Holding this perspective does not eliminate the pain, but it prevents the pain from becoming self-destruction. The first Stoic rule for handling rejection and heartbreak is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus made this distinction crystal clear: some things are up to us, and some things are not. In a relationship ending, what is not up to you? The other person's feelings, their choices, their decision to leave. What is up to you? Your own response, your own healing process, the lessons you choose to take, and the way you treat yourself moving forward. When you pour all your energy into trying to change the uncontrollable, begging for another chance, obsessing over what you could have done differently, or replaying every moment, you only prolong the suffering. The Stoic move is to gently release what is not up to you and focus intensely on what is. You cannot force someone to love you or stay with you, but you can choose to respond with dignity. You can choose to treat yourself with kindness instead of harsh self-criticism. You can choose to learn from the experience instead of letting it define you. Marcus Aurelius applied this principle constantly in his own life. He faced betrayals and losses, yet he refused to let those uncontrollable events poison his inner peace. He focused on his own virtue and his own actions. You can do the same. When the wave of pain hits, pause and ask yourself, what is truly up to me right now? The honest answer almost always brings a small measure of relief. You cannot control their heart, but you can control how you care for your own. This single rule prevents you from spiraling into endless rumination and self-blame. It redirects your energy toward healing and growth instead of futile attempts to rewrite the past. The second Stoic rule is Amor Fati, love of fate. When a relationship ends, the natural impulse is to fight reality. You replay what-if scenarios, wish things had gone differently, or hold on to anger and resentment. Amor Fati invites you to stop fighting what has already happened and to begin loving it as part of your necessary path. This does not mean you celebrate the pain or pretend it doesn't hurt. It means you choose to trust that this experience, however painful, is exactly what you needed for your growth at this moment. Marcus Aurelius practiced this during some of the most difficult periods of his life. He lost people he loved and faced constant challenges, yet he trained himself to accept and even love the things fate brought him. In the context of heartbreak, Amor Fati looks like saying, "This ending happened. It hurts. And I will allow it to teach me what I need to learn about love, about myself, and about what I truly value." This shift from resistance to acceptance removes a massive layer of additional suffering. The pain remains, but the war against reality ends. You free up mental and emotional energy that was previously spent on regret and what-ifs. You begin to see the relationship not as a failure, but as a chapter that served its purpose and is now complete. This perspective does not erase the grief, but it gives the grief meaning. It transforms the ending from a tragedy into a necessary step on your path toward becoming a wiser, stronger, more self-aware person capable of healthier love in the future. The third Stoic rule for handling rejection and heartbreak is Memento Mori, remembering that you will die. At first this may sound harsh, but it is one of the most liberating tools the Stoics offered. When you remember that your time on earth is limited and uncertain, the intense pain of a single relationship ending loses some of its power to consume you. Marcus Aurelius kept death close as a daily companion. He knew that awareness of mortality creates perspective and urgency. In the midst of heartbreak, Memento Mori gently reminds you that this pain, however sharp, is temporary. One day you will look back on this chapter as part of a larger story. This does not minimize the current pain. It simply prevents you from believing the lie that this pain will last forever or that it defines the rest of your life. When the mind starts spiraling into, "I will never love again," or "No one will ever choose me," Memento Mori brings you back to the present moment and asks, how do I want to spend the limited time I have right now? Do I want to spend it drowning in regret, or do I want to use this pain as fuel to become a better version of myself? This perspective shift does not remove the sadness, but it prevents the sadness from becoming your entire identity. You can grieve fully while still choosing to live purposefully. The fourth Stoic rule is daily evening reflection, the practice Marcus Aurelius used faithfully even during the most difficult periods of his reign. In the quiet of the evening, take a few minutes to review the day and the emotions you are carrying around the rejection or heartbreak. Ask yourself honest but compassionate questions. What am I feeling right now? Where is this pain coming from? What story am I telling myself about this situation? Is that story helpful or harmful? What small step can I take tomorrow that aligns with wisdom and self-respect? This reflection is not about suppressing emotions. It is about giving them space to be felt without letting them run unchecked through the night. By bringing gentle awareness to your inner state each evening, you prevent small pains from compounding into overwhelming despair. You also begin to see patterns in your thinking and gradually replace unhelpful narratives with wiser ones. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience and self-awareness that serves you far beyond the current heartbreak. The fifth Stoic rule is the deliberate practice of self-respect and virtue as the highest good. When rejection or heartbreak hits, the mind often turns inward with harsh criticism. The Stoics countered this by anchoring their worth in virtue rather than in external validation. Epictetus taught that the only true good is virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. When you make virtue your North Star, Your self-worth no longer depends on whether someone chooses to stay with you. You can feel the pain of loss while still treating yourself with dignity and kindness. You can grieve without descending into self-hatred. You can learn from the experience without letting it destroy your confidence. In practical terms, this means continuing to show up for yourself even when it hurts. Keep your routines. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend. Choose actions that reflect the kind of person you want to be. This consistent commitment to virtue slowly rebuilds your inner strength and reminds you that your value was never dependent on another person's approval in the first place. The sixth Stoic rule is the practice of forgiveness, not for the other person's sake, but for your own freedom. Holding on to resentment and bitterness after a relationship ends keeps you emotionally chained to the past. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius both emphasize the importance of releasing anger and choosing forgiveness as an act of self-liberation. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the hurt didn't happen or excusing harmful behavior. It means deciding that you will no longer carry the heavy burden of resentment. You acknowledge the pain, learn the lesson, and consciously choose to release the emotional grip the past has on you. This frees mental and emotional energy that can then be directed toward healing and building a better future. The seventh and final Stoic rule is to keep rising. Heartbreak and rejection are painful chapters, but they do not have to be the final chapter. The Stoics viewed every experience, even the most difficult ones, as an opportunity to practice virtue and strengthen character. Marcus Aurelius faced numerous personal losses yet continued to serve with wisdom and integrity. His example reminds us that we can grieve deeply while still choosing to move forward with purpose. After allowing yourself time to feel the pain fully, gradually redirect your energy toward growth. Invest in yourself. Strengthen your body, your mind, and your character. Build new connections. Pursue meaningful goals. Become the kind of person who can love healthily and be loved in return. The pain of today can become the wisdom and strength of tomorrow if you respond with Stoic principles. To help you apply these rules, here is a practical 30-day challenge. For the first 10 days, focus on feeling the pain fully while practicing the dichotomy of control and evening reflection. For the next 10 days, work with Amor Fati and Memento Mori to find meaning and perspective. For the final 10 days, emphasize self-respect, forgiveness, and small actions of rising. Keep a short daily note recording what you practiced and what shifted. At the end of 30 days, you will have taken significant steps toward healing and rebuilding your inner strength. Rejection and heartbreak are among the hardest human experiences, but they do not have to break you permanently. With Stoic wisdom and consistent practice, they can become catalysts for deeper self-understanding, greater emotional resilience, and healthier future relationships. You are not defined by who chose to leave. You are defined by how you choose to rise. Thank you for watching this video. If these Stoic rules for handling rejection and heartbreak resonated with you, please hit the like button. Subscribe to Rise as a Stoic and turn on notifications for more practical lessons on mental strength and emotional mastery. In the comments, share one small step you are committing to take this week as you heal. I read every comment, and I am rooting for your growth. In the next video, we will explore how to stop overthinking everything using Stoic techniques. Until then, feel the pain, learn the lesson, and keep rising with quiet strength. I will see you in the next lesson.